Oh, geez. Hello, and welcome to the Bluegrass Sports Show, or
The biggest show. We are two fat guys talking crap,
can't
and we
decide what we're doing.
we know what we're doing. We have a special edition coming to you. We're going to branch
Special
out a little bit from sports again.
Uh-oh.
What are we doing?
My name's Carl,
And my name's Perry.
the animal.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm also a house cat. Meow.
And what we're doing today is we're going to do our top 5 rock bands of all time.
This was an idea that branched. It started. It started a conversation in my NASCAR group with me and Kenny Riggs and Adam Smith. Branched into a conversation with me and my cousins John Tyler, former co-star of the Bluegrass Sports Show,
Yep.
and brother Jake. And now we've morphed it into this because it's a great talking point.
It is. It really is. And I mean, come on, guys. How many pure sports videos can we really do? Okay.
We still have more.
Yeah, we've still got more, but I mean, eventually we're going to run out of ideas, so we need to branch out and hit some other topics just randomly. So,
And I mean, bluegrass is a music form.
anyway.
Who says that bluegrass was ever here to represent Kentucky in this? Maybe we are the banjo-dueling sports fans.
Oh, jeez.
We listen to a story about a man named Jed.
Anyway, go with your number 5.
Oh, you're going to let me start?
Yes, because I didn't even make a list. I forgot.
So you're going to wing this, aren't you?
I have to.
Oh, bless your heart.
Yeah, it's going to be weak.
He's going to have, like, freaking Duran Duran at number 1 because he can't think of anybody else. Now,
I'm hungry like the wolf. Go ahead.
My number 5, this band had a very short window at their peak.
Okay, go ahead.
But at their window, they are the faces of a certain type, a certain branch of rock music. They were arguably the most popular band, one of the most popular bands in the United States, without a doubt the most popular band in the South, maybe ever. To me, the 5th greatest band of all time is Lynyrd Skynyrd.
I've got a question.
What's that?
Before we continue.
Sure.
Are we counting the Beatles as rock?
They were a rock band.
Okay. Well, sort of, but
they were a rock band. But anyways,
that's like saying new country is country. No, it's not. It's pop. But anyway, go ahead.
With me, you have to have Lynyrd Skynyrd on this list.
Oh yeah.
The influence that came.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, an entire basis, Southern rock.
Yep.
Is a poster child of Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Right.
Southern rock, arguably, with British Steel, probably the most influential form of rock that's mainstream that there's ever been.
Right.
You have every album that they put out during their, and they still go today. It's not the same band. It's I think Johnny Van Zant sings lead, which is one of the 3 Van Zant brothers.
Right.
But the original lineup, you had like 37 members in the band. No, not really, but you have Tragedy Strike and
right.
kills, of course, Ronnie and various other members of the band. But the legacy and the songs that you're left behind with by the original version of Lynyrd Skynyrd, they're some of the most popular songs of all time.
Ever. Yep.
Sweet Home Alabama is arguably
the most popular song of all time.
Arguably, it has a case to it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And not only that, you've got Freebird, Give Me Back My Bullets, Give Me 3 Steps.
Give Me 3 Steps.
Just I mean, just across the board, Needle in the Spoon, Jason.
Saturday Night Special.
Saturday Night Special. Yep. Just across the board. I mean, the Ballad of Curtis Lowe. Just across the board, fantastic songs.
I'm trying to think of one you ain't named it.
Simple Man.
Yeah.
Simple Man. That's my father's favorite Lynyrd Skynyrd. It might be my favorite, my father's favorite song. Period. But just so many great songs in such a short window, like 71 or 72, maybe 73, to like 1976 or 77.
Mm-hmm.
In that window, I think you had 7 studio albums, and they were all fantastic.
Yep. And it is amazing to me, as a little side note, how many songs were made that the guitar and stuff, the music sounded just like Sweet Home Alabama.
I mean, you got the
Werewolves of London,
and it's not the guitar; it's the piano. It's
well, I'm just saying.
Play. Sweet Home Alabama. Dun, 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 dun. That's in Sweet Home Alabama. That's in Werewolves of London. Kid Rock completely ripped off both of them. So, I mean,
he paid tribute to Sweet Home Alabama in that song.
That's true.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You're number 5.
Oh man, I'm in a predicament here. I'm thinking. Hang on. Let's see. I'm gonna put them at number 1, them at number 2, them at number 3.
No, have mercy. This is going to be unbearable.
I'm gonna go Aerosmith.
Aerosmith in your top 5 all time?
I guess. I'm going Aerosmith at number 5. I think that could easily be changed.
A band that, and I like Aerosmith, don't get me wrong. Aerosmith had a lot of great music.
Yeah.
But Aerosmith went through a lull of complete irrelevancy to where they were great in the 70s. They kind of faded out in the early to mid 80s, came back in the late 80s and early 90s, and where's Aerosmith now?
Right.
So, I mean, Steven Tyler is he's probably arguably one of the greatest frontmen of all time.
No, I'm not. I'm going the same as you. I'm going Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Lynyrd Skynyrd?
I moved them down. I had them at number 4 right there originally.
Okay, well, who's your number 4? Are you completely booting Aerosmith off the list?
Yeah, they're gone.
A band that I gave consideration to that's not going to be on my list, I'll wait till the end of this. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, God. At number 4.
You've got your top 3. You just need a number 4, right?
No, I'm actually moving one of them. These two are debatable. Number 3 and 4 are very debatable for me. Okay. My number 2 is probably...
You've got to go with number 4.
I know, but my number 2 is probably personal preference. More along the lines of, unbiasedly.
I'm trying to make this an unbiased list.
I am too. I really am. When you hear my number 1, you'll know. But my number 4, and this is going unbiasedly too, I'm going Metallica.
Metallica.
At number 4.
The face of the heavy metal movement, thrash metal movement. Of course, a lot of their influence is coming from bands like Motorhead, Judas Priest, heavy metal bands such as that, Black Sabbath.
That to me are no longer heavy metal bands. I don't consider them metal anymore.
Compared to what we listen to now and what we had, but then, man, they were heavy. Sabbath, it's the
Sabbath is one. I hate leaving them off the list.
They're heavy.
But I mean, I hate leaving them off the list. They were tough.
Metallica, and I'll talk more about them here in just a moment. I get why you would have Metallica in the top 4. Why would you have Metallica?
What now?
You got Metallica.
You said I get why you would have Metallica in the top 4. Why would you have Metallica?
Yes, why would you have? Your perception.
Well, I don't know the numbers. I don't know if you have any numbers.
I don't.
Okay. But for me, just growing up, it seemed like Metallica, every time they came out with a new album, everybody was pumped. Everybody, kind of like the Lynyrd Skynyrd thing.
Whenever we grew up, all their albums sucked.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that was still the big thing, though. Everybody was like, hey, Metallica. I mean, that was the huge, they were the face of rock at that time. In the 90s, the only group that I can think of that really rivaled Metallica for being the face of rock was Guns N' Roses. They were huge just in the 90s.
Well, Guns N' Roses faded out in the early to mid-90s.
But that's what I'm saying. That was all they were, right? Mm-hmm. They were 80s and 90s, and that was it. And Metallica has continued success over multiple years with multiple albums that were fantastic.
We just talked about my number 4, Black Sabbath.
Oh.
To me...
I really hated leaving them off.
Black Sabbath, this is where you're introduced to Ozzy Osbourne.
Right.
And they don't have a ton of mainstream power hits, but that's not abnormal for the time because Black Sabbath was against the mode of what everything else was at this time.
Right.
Black Sabbath, and with another band that might be mentioned later, whenever you're talking about every rock band that come after these two specific bands, you go this route or you go this route. Black Sabbath was one of those routes.
Right.
Black Sabbath going that route, that led you to bands like Metallica. Mm-hmm. That led you to bands like a Judas Priest, like an Iron Maiden, with the British Steel movement. Of course, the heavier sound comes from Black Sabbath. Mm-hmm. Iron Maiden, Paranoid, War Pigs. My personal favorite, Children of the Grave. Love the song. Love the song.
I don't know that one.
Just
I might listen to it.
Black Sabbath, Ozzy put out a tribute album in the late 80s, and that's just what it's called. It's called tribute. It was to Randy Rhoads. He was his guitarist. Right. He was a guitarist for Quiet Riot, and then a guitarist for Ozzy on his first 2 solo albums. And the entire album it's a live album of Randy Rhoads playing guitar, just a tribute to Randy. And they play some Sabbath on that album. The best version of Paranoid is not with Black Sabbath. It's with Randy Rhoads playing that, because Randy Rhoads is fantastic. Crazy Train, that's Randy Rhoads on guitar.
That's probably my favorite one.
So.
Well, that's Ozzy though.
That's Ozzy.
That's Ozzy.
But Black Sabbath, because of the pioneership,
might be Iron Man.
I think there's bands I like better that come after Sabbath, but I think Sabbath belongs in the top 5. Now, number 3, that's where I have Alcoholica. That was a nickname that Metallica got in the late 80s because of their tendency to party. Okay.
That's where I have Alcoholica.
Once again. You have the Godfathers of thrash metal. It's another version of rock. It's formed off of the leg that is Black Sabbath. You're looking at their first 3 albums, of course, and then Cliff Burton gets killed in a bus crash overseas. And then you have Injustice for All. With Injustice for All, they completely change their sound. They completely go darker, heavier, because it's a mourning-based album. Right. From that point on, they wear black. Mm-hmm. Okay? John Roark will tell you his Metallica is them in cut-up jeans and then thrashing everywhere on the first 3 albums.
Right.
My favorite Metallica album will always be the Injustice for All album. Yeah. Whenever I see Metallica, I see them in a dark arena.
Right.
I see them in black.
Yep.
Okay? I see Jason Newsted with his shaved head and hair on top, just swinging it. Okay? If you want to fall in love with Metallica, here on YouTube, look up Enter Sandman in Moscow from 1991 live.
Oh my Lord.
That was the first time I ever heard Metallica. They have been my favorite band ever since.
Really?
That video will get you so pumped. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. No, Metallica's tough, man. They really are.
I mean, Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets.
They've got way too many songs to name.
And Justice for All. This is their albums.
Oh.
The Black Album.
You're naming the albums.
Load. Reload.
Yep.
Garage Inc. Excellent.
Yes.
Okay?
Excellent. Now, great covers.
We won't talk about what happened at the end of the 2000s and or the end of the 90s, early 2000s. The orchestra album, it was great. S&M, where it's a symphony in Metallica.
Yeah.
It's excellent. Now, their most recent album that came out a couple years ago, I can't remember the name of it. It's pretty good.
All right. Yeah.
It's their best music. It's their best album they put out in 20 years.
It's all right. I like it.
But Metallica deserves to be on this list. Who's your 3?
My 3 is Queen.
I like Queen, but Queen to me has absolutely no business in the top 5 list.
I don't know, man. They had a lot of big hits too, and I mean that's.
Name 5.
Me name 5?
Yes.
Off the top of my head?
Yeah.
God almighty, I don't know if I can do that.
You said they had a lot of big hits.
I think they do. Let's see. Another one bites the dust. Bohemian Rhapsody. Well, you've got We Will Rock You versus I Am the Champion.
That's one song.
Well,
they're 2 songs.
They're 2 songs. Together. They combined them to make one. And now you've got me searching. You know me, dude.
Somebody to Love.
I've got much more on my phone.
Somebody to Love. Bicycle.
I don't personally like that song.
They had great songs, but as far as top hits, they only had like 3 or 4. To me, you place Queen, and I'll let you explain. Go ahead and explain why you have Queen first.
Well, that's one of them too. That's personal preference, and they were just so I don't know.
I love Queen. I love Freddie Mercury.
Love
Queen. Awesome. 2 times in the last 2 weeks, I've sung Bohemian Rhapsody on Xbox to Sebastian Slaughter and Christy Johnson. I love Queen.
Yeah, it's basically personal preference.
To me, Queen.
I don't have unbiased.
Queen,
lists.
you line up with an AC/DC, or with a Kiss, or with an Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are the bands that you line up where Queen's at.
Okay.
Kiss probably doesn't have as much quality music as Queen, but Kiss is a spectacle as a brand.
Yeah.
Maybe the biggest band of all time.
Oof.
Kiss is a live show.
That's
maybe the best of all time.
Yeah.
But their music was great. Their writing wasn't. That's the issue with Kiss.
Right.
I'm a huge Kiss fan. love Kiss.
I'm not.
But I can
I
unbiasedly,
like a lot. I like a couple of
say
their songs,
the
but-
only reason why you could ever make an argument for Kiss to be top 5 is because of the impact of Kiss, the entire spectacle of Kiss, not just the music.
Right.
Okay. Garth Brooks has said many times his live show performances
came from Kiss.
Kiss.
Yeah.
Queen and Kiss.
Yep.
So now